Second?
Is it live?
We live? Should I start talking now? I mean, we should probably start the show with us talking. Like, is it ready? Is it going? Huh? What?
Yeah, I always thought it was fun. We are.
Because that's how episode 2 started, with us just laughing.
Yeah.
It
Because of
Charles
this kid. Just screaming. All right. We are now live.
Right, we're live.
Ding,
What's
ding,
up,
ding, ding.
everyone? How you guys
Hello.
doing? Welcome to episode 3 of the, I guess, I don't even know what we are. Show, kind of, I guess. Well, anyway, I don't know what we are, but we're here for another day. We got some news with you for you guys, and I could not do this show without the two fellow last placers, Yendi
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
and my boy Chris.
Hello. My name is
So,
Chris.
yeah. Is that your name, Chris?
Yes.
I mean, I think I said that. That was your
I
name,
like
bro.
I like lamp. I love lamp.
Why did you should have read what the show notes said? I am the reason for microtransactions.
I am not the reason for microtransactions. All right. I support the games, like the free games, like Valorant. Anyway.
All right. Well, we got a good show for you guys, so we're gonna start off the show the same way we normally do, and we're gonna give you some of the news. So, one of our first news stories that we are going to talk about is we're going to talk about the craziness of Valham selling 2 million copies in 2 weeks. And I mean, for me personally, survival, if you guys don't know, Valheim is basically the newest of the survival games that is a co-op game also. Basically, you do the common things you do in those survival horror games, not horror games, but survival games where you're building and things like that. I personally have not played it yet, but the fact that it sold 2 million is pretty insane. Yendi, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I actually just downloaded it today and I played it for, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes. It probably could have been more because I could see myself losing a lot of time with this game. So if you've ever played A Kingdom for Keflings, it was like an Xbox arcade game. You sort of like build your own town. You go out forage. You cut down trees. You pick up stones. Then you take those things and you craft them into like axes, hammers, stuff like that. And you basically upgrade your stuff over time to get yourself a better settlement. And the really cool thing about this game, which I have yet to experience, but really looking forward to, is being able to be on a server with up to 10 people. So just a live gameplay, right? Live gameplay on your own server, and you don't lose progress. You can take your character from one server to another. You'll keep your items, your progress, and everything. Obviously, if you die, you might lose your things, but I don't know if I've ever seen or played a game that has that feature. I don't know if it's easier because it's a smaller game, but anyways, having played just that little bit of time, I definitely see myself playing this probably daily because it's just really relaxing. The music is nice. The graphics are not my style, but when you're in that grind, you overlook it anyway. So yeah, I'm not surprised that it sold 2 million in what, 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks, yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I see why now. It's just gonna go up from here. I'm sure in another week it'll go up like another 500K or a million again. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
When I first saw the game, I thought of you because I know that's kind of the style of game that I know you were kind of hesitant at first, but now that you kind of got into it, I feel like we're gonna lose you to the Viking Nation.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Chris, what do you think?
I mean, I saw it. I was watching one of my favorite streamers. His name's Syndicate. He usually plays Minecraft and stuff like that. And people were recommending this game. A lot of Minecrafters have jumped onto this game because of the building aspect of it. When I saw it, all I saw was the first person view of it. So I thought it was a first person game. I didn't know you can zoom in and out and everything like that. Whenever I saw it zoomed out, it reminded me of RuneScape a little bit. Like, I was like, this kind of gives me like a feel of RuneScape, just a little bit updated. But I'm definitely going to give it a chance. I'm always down to. I have a lot of games in my library that I just like.
Don't we all?
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's not like like I've always played shooters. I love shooters and stuff like that. I love adventure games, but I'm always looking, searching for the next best thing because one of my top games is Undertale, and that was just like somebody was talking about it.
So good.
Yeah, somebody was talking about it on another podcast I listened to, and that's literally like I want Sans like tattooed on me. Like I love that game. Like that game is beautiful to me. But for this game, yeah, man, I'm definitely gonna buy it. I'm gonna try it out today. I guess you can say I got into the Valheim TikTok area because that's all my feed is. And one of the most interesting things is I saw one guy that said, "Hey, man, we thought we would explore," and I guess his group has been pushing the map. They've been trying to get out to the boundaries and stuff like that, see how far it goes. So he showed the section of the map that they cleared. Like, it's like a fog, and after you visit something, it clears up, and you scroll out, and it looks like a whole planet. Like they only had the smallest speck, but the way they looked at it, it looked like it was the size of a normal game. And then whenever they zoomed out, it's like it's insane. And I think they said they had like 30, 40 hours in. So
and the game is actually procedurally generated, so you won't have the same worlds as I do, which is even crazy to think about. Like it's just a massive world that you'll never have, that another person will never have. It's insane.
Yeah. I think one of the craziest things about that game is the fact that it wasn't really marketed much. I didn't find out about the game until I saw it on obviously Twitch, and like then obviously it blows up, brings me to another thing I wanted to ask you guys. How do you guys feel about games being heavily influenced by streamers? Because I feel like because this game has, I wouldn't say it's like Rust, but it has kind of like a,
yeah, I get that
similar
feel.
when you're on a server kind of thing. But how do you guys feel about like Twitch streamers, YouTube streamers being able to just push like sales of games like that, Chris?
For me, it's I've been iffy about it because I love it, right? I love the idea of it because that's how I found it kind of gets me to play. That's what got me into Valorant. Actually, whenever Valorant came out, it was streamers only. They had like tournaments and stuff like that, and everybody was releasing gameplay. I've been following that kind of stuff since like Call of Duty. Every time they show Call of Duty, they always bring the creators in, and then the day of, whenever they're like, "Hey, this is what multiplayer looks like," that's when you see every creator drop like, "Hey, I was at this event and we were all playing, and here's some clips from the game." But then you get into the whole, like you said, Rust, because Rust was a game on my list. It's been on my list for I think almost like a year and a half now, and I'm just not jumping into it yet. A lot of streamers got bored. They created their own server, right? And everybody's on it. They're building, they're having fun. And it's got a lot of people to go out and spend $30 on this game, and they get on with the normal crowd of Rust players, which is very toxic. And they come up, you get destroyed, you get looted, and you will never build a base unless you play with somebody that's a veteran in that game. And kids are like, what the heck, man? Why do they get to have fun? Why are they doing this? And it's because they've made it themselves. Like, you know what I mean? So it's way different. It's just kind of, you got to take it with a grain of salt whenever you see a streamer play, because they're playing with other creators, and it's very, they have control of that area that they're playing in. Whatever game they are, they have somebody has control of a server, and they know that they're going to be able to create content and have fun in that area. So it's up in the air for me. I think it's a good idea, great marketing and everything like that, but at the same time, it can be misleading.
Yandy?
I'm actually all for it. Actually, if it wasn't for the streamers that I watch, which I think the very first streamer I ever watched was Shroud, just by accident, or maybe it was Charles telling me about him. He was playing PUBG. So if it wasn't for me joining into that PUBG stream, I wouldn't have had the interest in PUBG. I would have never made a PC, and I would never be here.
Whoa.
Right? Because I was fully content with my little puny Xbox at the time, So this does everything I needed to do. But you don't know how good it is when you finally step out of that closed-minded box, when you finally build a PC and you start using powerful stuff, you get the full potential. So yeah, I welcome when streamers get a new game and make it popular, especially the really smaller indie titles, right?
Among
Like
Us. Among Us was a big
Among
one.
Us, there you go,
Yeah.
perfect example.
Mhm.
That became a hit overnight, pretty much thanks to streamers. So for me, it's also a way of discovering new games, like things that I would not normally play. Among Us, I would never touch it, but I saw somebody play it, and I'm like, oh, this looks actually like it'd be interesting and fun to play. It's still really not for me because it's the same thing over and over. You know,
It's for me.
right? Yeah, people love it.
Yeah, because Alan's always sus and hitting buttons and stuff, you know.
And
But
some people are
anyway.
better at lying than others. But yeah, I definitely think that is the future. That's the way we're gonna keep going, and it's just get used to it because it's gonna happen even more.
Yeah,
So,
also, I mean, just a quick note. I mean, if there is a company out there that just wants, some more streamers, maybe, a team to
yeah,
help promote a game, our email box is open. Even though I
Thanks,
said
B-Rob,
like
for
I'm kind of okay, I'm up in the air. I'll
okay.
push that aside for you.
A little plug, huh?
Yeah, a little
just
plug,
in case.
man.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, I agree with you guys on that sense. Basically, just the fact that I do like that games can be discovered depending on who's streaming what. Because Among Us, like, I would have never found out about if someone wasn't streaming it. And I mean, Among Us is probably one of my favorite games of last year, even though that game came out in like 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
It did,
That
and
game is actually pretty old. Like, and they were actually working on Among Us 2 and then scrapped
canceled
all
it.
that
Yeah.
to just make Among Us 1 better, which,
Yeah, I'm
was
not gonna
great.
lie, man.
And
Whenever they showed up on the Game Awards, because they won, that game won a lot of awards, and it was a
so
team,
many awards.
and it was like three of them, man. There were three of them in like in a little apartment bedroom, and then one of them was like FaceTiming on the phone, and they were all dressed nice, and like they won an award, and I got emotional with them because they started crying. They could not believe like this
That
game
they
in
won.
20. Oh my gosh, they were so happy, and I was like, it's so awesome to see. Like the little guy just be like boosted up, but now everybody's like, I mean, now they're in the big leagues now. Like people are like, hey, where's that new map? And they're starting to get to that point where it's just like, okay, now you guys are bugging us. Like, relax, like it's coming, like. But it was insane seeing that game blow up and those four people be able to make it into the industry. I mean, like if they don't stay together. Or I mean, hopefully they stay as a team, and then they can get picked up. Who knows? Xbox could buy them and be like, "Hey, can you make us a little small indie game or something like that?"
Already on Game Pass,
Yeah, I know exactly. So it's just like they're on the road. They're on a very, they're on a very big like road to success right now. It's crazy.
Andy, I don't like how you made that face when I said Game Pass. You looked at me kind of weird.
Oh no, I'm all for Game Pass. You know that. That's
Yeah.
that's the best deal in gaming right now.
Game Pass is the
Hands
worst
down.
thing on it. No, I'm playing.
Game Pass.
Wow.
I don't know
All
if I
right.
asked that. Quick question about Game Pass. Sorry.
Mhm.
I don't know if I asked this last show, but is there still a contract between them and Nintendo, or is there supposed to be a Game Pass in?
So there's a rumor that went around. I think this was 6 or 7 months ago that Game Pass might make its way to the Switch as an app. Nintendo, as of I think 3 months ago, kind of debunked it and said it wasn't going to happen. But Xbox is finally releasing it on web browsers, and maybe there's a way around to get your Switch to have a browser in order for you to play it. But that's obviously we don't know if that's like guaranteed, because the original talks were that they were supposed to have like an actual app on the Switch, and then that kind of got debunked and wasn't going to happen. And then now people are talking, but they also said it wouldn't happen for Apple, but now that's going to happen in the web browser kind of form. So maybe it will. Maybe tomorrow is Nintendo Direct, so who knows? We'll get back to that though, because I know we're going to have a lot of excitement to talk about for that. We are going to switch to TV shows, and The Last of Us casting has happened during the week, and we finally found out who our Joel and our Ellie is going to be. So I'm like, like, wait, what? But yeah, so we finally found out who our main character is going to be, and it's going to be Pedro Pascal, and it's going to be Bella Ramsey. That's why I said Belle weird. But anyway, so how do you guys feel about Ellie and Joel being casted, Chris?
So I was surprised about Pedro Pascal being picked. I thought I'd get like I don't know. I saw Joel as like a little bit of a bigger dude.
Mhm.
But I think it's gonna be great, man. I just hope that they can separate, um, like because I know Pedro's been around for a while, but it's like since Mandalorian, whenever these actors get into big roles like that, I'm just hoping that it's a big success because people are gonna be like, oh, that's Mando, instead of like, oh, that's Joel and that's Mando and that's what I mean. So I think it's gonna be great. I think HBO is gonna do a great job with it. Um, I've seen. I mean, after we get Yendi's opinion, I do have some stuff here that they've announced like other characters. They just haven't announced the roles for them yet. But I'm excited for that show, man. It's gonna be good. And I don't like horror stuff. And I know that they're gonna take it down it's gonna be a serious like drama, but whenever they get into the horror stuff, it's gonna be very, very creepy. And I can't wait to see a live action version of what the clickers look like.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to sleep.
Yendi, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm not really big on TV, but I was a big fan of the Last of Us game. As far as the casting, I expected better. Like he's not a bad actor, and she's not a bad actress, but he's oversaturated. This is basically going to be a Game of Thrones mini version, because that's we're going to continue to see more Game of Thrones people cast into these roles. What?
Chat, you can totally please roast him in the comments, bro.
He's in too many things.
What do you mean too many things? Like what?
He's in too many things. Game of Thrones. He's in that Mandingo show. Like, you're right.
Oh my
He's done a whole bunch of
God.
movies. He's just oversaturated.
Oh, so like an actor.
Yeah, as an actor.
He's doing work, bro.
No, he's oversaturated. What I'm saying, he's seen too often, too many different places. I would have preferred somebody else who looked more like him. He looks like a Puerto Rican Joel, like Joel from the games. They don't look the same. It's just the voice is not there for me. It's just he's not. He might be a great Joel, but in my head, all I see is Oberyn from Game of Thrones.
We will watch the first episode, and then we will have a show about this. Have a show about this show.
And then the girl, I'm actually really interested to see how she does, because all I know her from is Game of Thrones, and she was this badass girl, like young girl who just had her. Yeah, so I'm really interested to see how she acts as Ellie, because in the game Ellie was vulnerable, and I just don't see how this what's her name, Bella
Ramsey.
I don't know how. I guess we'll see how good of an actress she is for real. Because
has she been in other stuff, or is her big like debut was Game of Thrones? Like
her big break was Game of Thrones, where everyone fell in love with the character. My personal opinion is, I mean, I love the casting. I feel like HBO does a really good job at casting. I can see and semi understand Yendi's point in the Pedro Pascal has been in a lot of things, but that tends to happen with a lot of actors who make it big around that time. I mean, once you make it big, like we're seeing Tom Holland in everything. Like,
yeah, bro,
Tom Holland is literally in everything. And don't get me wrong, I love Tom.
Yeah,
but we got to stop casting him for every young role. Like, come on, there's other people who can play young roles. Like, and don't get me wrong, his Spider-Man is wonderful. I think he's going to be great as Nathan Drake, but I just feel like we got to stop casting him as every young role. Like, he can play something else, but he is great, and I know everything he's going to be great. So that's how I feel about Pedro. Also, I know he's going to be fantastic. I'm not really worried about the way that he's going to act. I was excited because I love Pedro Pascal. So seeing him as Joel, I think he's really going to nail it's going to be nice to see him really be emotional, because one of the best things about The Last of Us is the emotion. And I mean, if you've played it, you know the first episode is going to be the heart wrencher. So if you haven't played it, be prepared. For the people who have played it, be prepared to
Well,
relive that.
Well, for the
first
people that
episode.
have played it, it's the other characters I was mentioning was Neil Drunkman teased a few of them. Um, he said that he promised the inclusion of Tess, Marlene, Maria, and Riley. Who else? Featured in the show will include Bill, Henry, Sam, and David. So people don't know where they're gonna take the story. In my opinion, I feel like they're gonna take. If you've seen, what was it called? Why am I blanking? Watchmen. If you've seen Watchmen, they kind of do that theory of like they show an episode, but they're also showing the past a little bit, and you just don't know where you are in that sense. And then at some point, it just meets in the middle, and then you get the full story, and you know what I mean. And it kind of leads into the next show. So I feel like we're gonna see a lot of Joel's past. With his daughter and everything like that leading up. I hope they show a little bit before when he meets Ellie, but at the same time, like I kind of hope they kind of have Joel's past and Ellie's past because I totally want to know what happened before Joel meets Ellie. Like, what was that like?
I mean, we kind of knew. Well, I mean, you're right. There is that like little section from when you actually, go and meet Ellie
Yeah,
to where he kind of like first goes to the establishment that he goes to. So we might get a little bit of that. I do think we will get some of the him and his daughter kind of bonding kind of thing. But yeah, I'm interested to see where the show goes because I am also one of the people that believe that you don't have to change an amazing story too much. And I feel like a lot of directors feel like they have to put their creative juices on it, and it ends up messing up whatever it is. So The Last of Us for me is a top 5 game, which of all time, which I feel like one day we're gonna have to do so that people, because I feel like we mention our top fives, or at least I do a lot. So, but it's one of those games that just had the perfect story, it had the perfect like combat, and I'm really interested to see all of that work in a TV show, and especially because it's episodic, which I think is I've always felt in video games is a better way to tell a story than a movie because the movie you feel like you have to like rush it and then pack all this stuff into one, and then you might not get a sequel, and then you end up just having Resident Evils, which were terrible.
mm-hmm.
Yes, I said it. And then so I don't, you know what I mean. So I don't want. I prefer the TV shows because you have time to really tell those stories. You have time to really do those cut scenes that made those games memorable. So I personally am excited about the casting, and just more so because now it feels more real. Also, like it is going to happen because now we've got the two main characters.
yeah.
Anything
I
else
see it
on
as
that
a
yet?
more grittier Walking Dead in my head. That's how it's gonna be. A grittier, more dramatic
Don't talk about that show.
to me.
To be honest though, I like whenever they announced the show, I do like the first game, but the second game I ended up liking a lot more. That one had me on edge the whole way through. Um,
Yeah,
to the point where like my wife was sitting next to me and she's just like freaking out and she doesn't even know who the characters are. And I feel like that as the second game as a TV show would be insane. But I mean, it was kind of a show in itself. It definitely had a lot more stuff in it because obviously it was next gen stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to see where they're gonna take it.
well, the second, I think we'll get to that point to where we have like, obviously, I mean, I feel like it's going to be building the universe
Yeah,
essentially, because I feel like the first season will take off. It's on HBO Max, and HBO Max already has this huge deal of subscribers because of all of the movies that are coming out. So I think people will watch the show, and I mean, HBO really hasn't. I mean, they've come out with so many shows, but they really do home with like major shows because I can think of like all of my favorite shows besides probably Breaking Bad were all pretty much on HBO, like Game of Thrones, besides the final season, but I'm not going to get into that. And then Sopranos, all that stuff is usually on HBO. So I think it's in good hands. I think we're going to get a great show, and I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So on to our next thing. We're going to talk about Microsoft announcing their new headset today that is pretty much amazing, and it's going to be $100. I have the article here from Polygon that says Microsoft announces wireless headset coming in March. It's actually March 16th, which is next month. The pre-orders are already sold out. It supports Xbox One, Series X, Series S, PC, and Bluetooth. So basically, Microsoft is releasing a high-quality headset. This is their first headset that they're releasing since Xbox 360, which is kind of crazy because they didn't release one for the Xbox One, at least because I believe they had those deals with like Razer and all those other. So I thought I saw it this morning. I didn't pre-order it, and then I instantly regret it. And now I was talking to Yendi about this before the show because it has a few pretty amazing features on there with like it has its own app and stuff like that. But I'm more interested to see Yendi, what do you think about Xbox finally releasing a headset?
It if I'm gonna buy a headset, it's not gonna be from a console manufacturer. It's gonna be from somebody with experience, Sennheiser, Shure, Audio Technica. Especially $100, I'd rather just save that and get something better down the line. I'm in no ways an audiophile at all, but I prefer to have the quality there. I don't want to if I'm just using it for gaming. Even this headset, I think is overkill, right? Like, what? I guess my question is, what is the use? What's the purpose of this headset? Like, are you gonna wear it around, on your run, on your morning walks, or you can use it for music? Like, how good is it? Why not just get wireless earbuds instead? I mean, yes, it's another option for people, especially those who are really into the Microsoft ecosystem. But to me, it's kind of redundant. I don't think we need it. It looks real nice. I'll give them that. Whoever designed it, they get props because it looks sleek. It looks real good. It looks better than the new Apple ones that I don't know. That's a whole other story. But if you would have told me $50, I would have picked them up for sure because it would probably replace these wireless headsets that I have now, since I also use PC. So yeah, that's where I stand on that.
Chris, what about you?
For me, okay, so I am a headset freak when it comes to gaming. It all started with like whenever you mentioned the Xbox released a headset for the 360. The one that I had that was from Microsoft, it was just one piece, like little ear one.
Yeah, the little thing that was the one that
with the green mic, yeah, because that was the one that you upgraded to, and it was just like that's what everybody was talking on. But after that, I ended up getting Turtle Beaches. I went into the Turtle Beach area where it was just like I had the RCV cables and would go into the back of the TV to go there because it was just like being able to hear footsteps was the biggest thing. Like I was playing Call of Duty a lot, Halo a lot. And it was just like, be able to hear your enemies. And I remember sitting there, like the first time I plug them in and I can hear the footsteps. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And then the first grenade went off and I threw the headset off. But I used to have, like I said, I've been down the rabbit hole. I think it's a great idea, the way it looks. I would totally like this if it worked for, what is it? The Switch. But Switch doesn't have an online voice chat. I would totally wear this out in public. Like if I was at Starbucks or something, I would totally put this on, put the mic on, and just play on my Switch. Or I don't know if they have online chat. I think it's in like Call of Duty Mobile. You're able to talk to your friends on your phone and stuff like that. So to be able to maybe get the Razer, what's the headset or the handheld? Yeah. Say you have that. You have this headset. It doesn't look like a gaming headset. That's what everybody wants. Like they want a headset that doesn't look like a gaming headset. I went through Astros. I have Astros right now. They were my favorite company for the longest time. And then I went into the whole audiophile rabbit hole of having a DAC amp sitting on my desk with like, you know what I mean? So it's different. I mean, I think they're a little bit late to the game, to be honest. People, I'm glad it's sold out for them. Hopefully it works out. It sounds great because Sony released their headset with the PS5, and people's reviews say like, you know, it's all right. It's a headset, whatever. But at this point, if it's gonna get those guys, this headset's for the casual gamers for sure. They're gonna see a headset. They're gonna be like, okay, my wife is sleeping. Let me just slip this on real quick. Or, you know, the Warzone players that just get on and play Warzone. They don't like, but for competitors, esports is a big thing right now. They're kind of losing that crowd. Everybody's jumping on to be the next like esports player, and they're already looking at those pro players for Turtle Beaches, Astros, all that stuff, all those sponsors. So I feel like after they come back after they go back into stock, it's not going to sell as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. I agree with both of your points there. I do think the interesting thing about this is the fact that it does have the Bluetooth, which kind of goes for them to be pushing mobile xCloud and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that that's one of the things they thought about by making it a Bluetooth wireless headset, because you can use this now on Game Pass Mobile and then be able to talk to your friends on it. Because Xbox, one thing they did do a good job at is their mobile app has been really good for a while, where you could talk. You can actually use any headset on the Xbox mobile app. So I think this is, like you said, Chris, where it kind of doesn't look like a gaming headset, so you can kind of walk around with it, and it, you know, like the only thing that would kind of give it away is that the fact that it says Xbox on the side. But the design, like Andy said, it is a very sleek, clean design, so it doesn't feel like you have like all those too many colors about gaming headsets. Because that's one of the things I can't stand about gaming headsets, where they put like all these colors on there, and it's like, I don't need, like, I'm never looking at my headset, so like I don't need any of those colors on my headset. Like RGB headset, and it's like your ears are green, and it's like no one can see that. Like even if you're streaming, no one can see your head, like your ears. No one's paying attention to your ears, so I don't even understand the like thing. But I do like
if they're getting into the, like I said, if they're getting into the mobile area of it, like Astro came out with Astro A10s, and I have seen working at my job, I've seen those in public. Some people I've seen some guys with Turtle Beaches. But I've never seen guys like come out with, you know, their Astros. A40? Yeah. A40 was probably my favorite, you know, and it's I like the mix amp idea, everything like that. But it's just gonna be one of those things, man. Like I said, they're late to the game. It looks very nice, and I hope it works out for them. But at the same time, you should have came out with it a little bit sooner.
I mean, I definitely agree. They should have came out. But I mean, I feel like in general, not just Xbox, in general, next gen's releasing period, both consoles have been totally off.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of promises were made that we didn't get from both sides. A lot of things that were like, I mean, you can't even get any of the systems right now, which is another whole issue within itself. And it's like, you know, we were supposed to get all these things, and then now it's kind of like, yeah, here's the console that you can't get. I mean, if you're lucky, you did get them. But, you know, but here's also like, we know that a lot of people don't have it. So now we're just going to hold off on everything that we were supposed to release. And we're just going to wait till everybody has it. But we also don't anticipate everybody having one until like October. So like in general, so I totally agree with you where I feel like it's late, but also they would have probably released it to the same people they released it to now, right? So if it would have came out day one, not everyone can get I guess the good thing about this headset is the Bluetooth and the fact that you can carry it around and things like that.
It should have been in the bundle. It should have been in there like a elite bundle or something, right? Included. Yeah. And then as far as the Bluetooth thing, what headset doesn't have Bluetooth nowadays?
No, you're right. I mean, like I said, I think I'm just saying, I think they're trying to push, because I can anticipate. I'm just thinking further into the future. I'm anticipating Xbox coming out with their own style of mobile controller, and then kind of like saying, here's a bundle of your Microsoft and thing for xCloud. Like, you know what I mean? I would assume this is a longer play, but again, I can't guarantee that. I would just like, that's kind of an assumption. But also, a lot of people don't actually research headsets. They kind of go, most of the casual gamers are going to go, oh, it's a Microsoft headset, and I have Game Pass on my phone, or I have an Xbox, so I'm just going to make sure I get a Microsoft headset. So without doing that like extensive research. So I totally agree. I don't like, obviously they're not like the best of the headsets. I mean, I want a pair so I can listen to them and then do a review. But obviously, I think the headsets that I have, like actual headphones, are better, and I would use those any day. So
Somebody said in the chat, Microsoft's first gaming headset was trash. I own 2 pair and both broke within a few months. Hey man,
Charles.
it's
Charles.
Oh, it is Charles.
Yeah, Charles.
Hey man, it was part of that was it, man. It was part of the culture. And then also, you know what else you had to have with the headset? You had to have the little Wi-Fi clip, USB clip. You cocked it into the
back. Yes, 360. Yes, because they didn't have the built-in Wi-Fi back.
Oh, take me back. Take me back.
I mean, listen, the 360, it's one of my favorite consoles.
Oh god.
Love the Xbox 360. Like, I don't know what happened from 360 to the one. Well, I do know what happened, but the Xbox 360 is it's so good. It's such a good, I feel like it's still underrated, but it was amazing. Yeah. Like, amazing console.
Besides the Red Ring of Death.
Besides that,
that was not cool.
It wasn't a difficult fix, but again, you can't anticipate like people.
I had to get mine fixed twice.
Yeah, but
2 until I got a Slim.
Yeah, and then they fixed that issue, but it was the Red Ring of Death was probably the worst. That's also like one of the most known like gaming defects, right? Like I can't think
that
of
and the PlayStation Yellow Screen of Death.
I've never heard of that.
PlayStation 3. PlayStation 3 had it.
3, yes, they
really?
did.
You get a yellow light, and then that's it.
Oh,
that was
shoot.
That was their count, like not counter, but I guess their
equivalent.
Equivalent. There we go. Thank you. Speaking of Sony, since we went there, Sony has a law firm files PS5 dual drift class action against Sony.
Oh my god.
And I mean, we were just talking about how, next gen releases weren't this, but anyway, this article comes from Wesley over at Eurogamers. He says a U.S. law firm has filed a class action against Sony against alleged PlayStation 5 dual sense drift. If you guys don't know what a drift is, basically it's when your analog stick just drifts either to the left or to the right, and your character just kind of if it's on your left analog, it just drifts to the left or it drifts to the right, and your character starts moving, and you can't really do anything about it, depending on how bad the drift is. So this article then continues to say this week, Schwartz and Donaldson, the firm behind the ongoing class action against Nintendo over their Joy-Con drift, which basically the same thing, asked affected customers to get in touch via online forum. So basically, we're having drift issues still, which I mean, it hasn't happened to me personally, but I know this happened to a lot of people on the PS4. So I'm curious to see what you guys think about PlayStation 5 having this issue, or allegedly having this issue, Chris.
It's not going away. All right? It's not going away. Go ahead and get your 5 cents. Go ahead and sign your name on the class action, whatever. Okay? That's all you're going to get. Everybody signs up and they're like, oh yeah, let's sue Sony. And then they're like, okay, cool. So it passed. Here's your money. What's this? 5 cents. That's what you get. Because, we have to split it between everybody else. But anyway, it's just not going to go away. The Nintendo one was a bigger deal, was a bigger issue for me, right? I do have drift on my Joy-Cons. I didn't send them in because I use normal controllers, because the Joy-Cons, one, when people were complaining about it, oh my god, my thing drifts. And I'm like, majority of you guys have controllers because you guys complained about the Joy-Cons being too small anyway. So all of you have controllers. But with today's games, every game now has a majority of games like they have that option of like the drift control, like how much, or dead zone, that's what it's called. The dead zone on your controller. Even this controller I bought, oh shoot. This controller I bought like it's probably been a month. Right? And on Call, I feel like it's sometimes the game more than the controller, right? Because in certain games, this thing is fine, and then like games like if I'm in Warzone or Cold War, if I touch it a little bit, or like no, I've seen it in Apex. My gun will drift just the smallest bit and it'll stop. And what I did was I go up and I up the dead zone a little bit, and then I'm good to go. And you keep going. If it's a problem where your guy is drifting and you can fully see, like you move all the way instead of like that small slight movement, majority of the time it's it's your walking stick more than like aiming or like looking around. You know what I mean? So to me, it's gonna happen. I think the industry, a lot of these games have made it to where they have the dead zone thing in almost a majority of the games I see. For it to happen on the PS5, it's no surprise because they put so much into that controller. Like the haptic stuff, I thought was a cool idea. I mean, I turned it off on some of my games, but I keep it on adventure games and stuff like that. Not great for multiplayer, great for story. So they took a leap of faith, and mistakes are made, man. If it, like I said, if you're spinning around doing 360s by touching your analog by accident, go get it fixed. But other than that, look for that dead zone. I think we're gonna see more dead zone stuff, and it's gonna become one of those things where it's just like there's just something we have to deal with. I know it sucks because we pay. How much is a PS5 controller right now? It's like $80. $70. Yeah. So I know a lot of people are like, I'm paying $70 and it's drifting. It's just a technical error, and it's like hopefully they get it fixed. But it's the beginning of a launch, and that's to be expected. So,
Andy, what are your thoughts on the controller drifts?
I actually completely disagree with Chris. I think if you're going to pay that much money for something that's next gen, it's got to work right out of the box. Like straight up, no excuse. This is the reason why Nintendo's being sued for it. You know, and they have a program in place where you can send it in and they'll fix it for you for free. I'm not sure if PlayStation has this yet, but they should, because it's one thing saying you're buying like a Power A or Mad Catz, you know, knockoff for like 10 whatever they cost, but $70, that's a game. That's a full-on experience that you're paying for.
Game. Yeah.
So if I'm paying $70 for a controller, it better work perfectly out of the box. No excuses. Like it's next gen. Sorry about it. You have to do your part. I'm doing my part by going poor by giving you $70.
I mean, they just know it's one of those things where they know you're gonna buy it anyway. So
it doesn't excuse it though.
I mean, I know it doesn't excuse it, but it's just one of those things in gaming where we're just gonna deal with it forever. I've been drift has been a word.
That's like if I were to sell you a mouse and it double clicks and I'm like, oh, sorry, man. Yeah, but it's clicking twice every time I press the button. You know, it's $150. If you paid $150 for this and it didn't work perfectly, you'd be pissed, right?
I mean, I think well, I would be pissed, but like I think that aspect to what like the drift that I've had, okay, I've never seen like horrible drift. I'll have to look it up after the show. But the drift I've had is so small that it's not like game changing to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I get a controller, because I've had controllers where if I click in, my guy doesn't do anything, or if I pull the trigger, nothing happens. You know, something game breaking, I'm going to be upset. But if it's something small, most of the time I deal with it. I know a lot, like you said, it is expensive. So, it should work out of the box. It's next gen. But it's just one of those things.
Yeah, one of the biggest draws to buy a console is what? Convenience, right?
Yeah.
If I take the PlayStation out and I want to play a game and then I have an issue and then you're saying, oh, go and change the dead zone, I shouldn't have to do that. It should be pick up, play for a few hours, forget about it, you know? Now, if you're talking PC, that's fine. Obviously, you have to troubleshoot your own things there.
Mm-hmm.
Totally expected. But from somebody who has this much experience, this many years in the industry, they should have had that perfected. No excuses. But that's somebody talking who can't get a hold of a PlayStation, right? I have no idea. I haven't even seen a thing in person.
Now, when you finally get one, which I
will have to.
Yeah, you will at that point, right? Because you'll probably get one. I'm gonna say give it another 2 months, 3 months. At that point, you should have. I mean, we'll probably get more bugs. You'll be able to see that. At least right now, in your position, you'll be able to see like, okay, I should wait a little bit longer because obviously these people are having problems. I have a friend that had a PS5 for a week, and he got one of those like really buggy, it just didn't turn on kind of ones, and he sent it in, and he has to wait for them to be made to be sent back one. So we're going through, yeah, it's going through one of those things. And I mean, whenever I wanted to pre-order one, everybody was like, a lot of my friends were like, I'm gonna wait until all the, kinks and stuff are worked out, and that's understandable. Whenever I bought one this early, I took on of like, okay, if it breaks, like it's on Sony, but also this is to be expected, and I'm gonna have to deal with this. So, which sucks.
So you're talking from an early adopter point of view.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yes. Oh, well, in that case, then yes, I agree. You are taking on that risk.
Yeah.
Again, it's still $70.
It is. Yeah.
I actually like to be an early adopter for a lot of things. Some things work out perfectly, but most of the time there's something wrong. Like I'm testing a mouse right now that I can't show you, but I love pretty much everything about it except one or two things, and I can't say anything about it because I signed up to do that, right?
Yeah.
So I get the early adopter thing. So yeah, in that case.
But if they're as long as as long as they do offer where you can send it in, and they'll fix it and they give you one for free, right? Instead of having to go like, no, sorry, you have to just buy another one. I think it'll be okay. I think if this issue continues throughout the end of the year, like if they don't have it solved, you know what I mean? There's so many controllers out there right now anyway. You can buy the controller, you just can't buy the console. So
I'm surprised this happens so quickly. Like usually this takes a while to
figure out. This
prevalent.
That's why you also got to see the gamers that are complaining about drift, because some of them are the ones that are like full on pushing hard on the analog, or they're slamming it on the couch whenever they die or something like that. So because
ragers.
Yeah, because the most of the time whenever I have drift problems is because I raged on the game, or like I'm clicking too hard or something like that. So.
Drifting, it is an issue, especially, I mean, I played some fighting games here and there, and I can tell you, any slight drift in fighting games is major gameplay, like malfunction. And if you move forward when you're supposed to be blocking, then you know what, you just probably, because you're gonna get hit with a combo. But I am a little upset with Sony for as well as that controller I feel has been made, and like the features on that controller, like it's a really nice controller. And for them to have drift issues is kind of it kind of sucks, because it's like you put so much money and so much new technology into this controller for you to be having a issue that you've had with last gen controllers to now be carried over to these controllers. It's kind of annoying, and it's kind of like, well, we need to fit, like, I agree with Yendi. And out of the box, though, like if I'm gonna get a controller, my controller at least should work. Maybe my doesn't work, the console doesn't work properly, but at least the controller, because I mean the controller you could also use on your PC. So like it's just it would still be functional even if your console didn't work. So I don't know. I just feel like, especially something that I don't build controllers, but I just feel like drift is one of those things that I feel like it is game breaking in like any game that you play, because if I move just a slight bit and I'm aiming down sight, like that's a big difference than me hitting someone with a headshot. So like I feel like that's like it makes it hard for you to even want to do that. But you know what? I mean, it is what it is. Get a mouse and keyboard and you won't drift.
I mean, even for me, like, I mean, since I mean, I know a lot of people aren't able to do this, but like, since I took on streaming and doing YouTube, I get controllers that are comfortable, like they're built for me. So I put a little bit of extra money, I mean, more money than I want to say, in a controller. So like if this controller that I just showed you guys, if this one had drift, I'm going to be very upset, because it took 2 months for them to build it and everything like that. And that was somebody by hand. What's that?
The Scotch tape controller?
Yeah, the Scotch tape controller.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Why?
Yeah. But
so wait, can you show us that controller real quick? Show us the face.
The face of it?
Yeah.
The-
So is that an Xbox? That's an Xbox controller, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that just for PC?
No, I can play it on my Xbox also. But I also have
Oh, you have an Xbox. Okay.
so again, like, as I was a headset geek, I'm also a controller freak also. So
Nice.
I've gotten them throughout the years. This was my first like Xbox One controller.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's like I literally have. It's just going through them. I just have been using this company
That's
for
an
years.
investment right there.
Yeah.
Those are some investment.
Yeah. So I know, like, this one ended up breaking on me, but this is like something that I'm actually I want to get a glass box and put it in, because this is a controller that I got at my first Call of Duty event I ever went to. And it's just one of those things, man. I like controllers. It's just one of those things that you just want to collect. One that I missed out on was they had a FIFA one that, like, this was all like turf. It was actual like grass turf that you could grab onto, and I was like, if I get that one,
mice.
So, exactly.
Yeah, I understand.
So it's just one of those things.
Like I don't think you have to explain about collections to anyone in this room right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Amongst the three of us, we all
got
have
a bunch of Funky Pops, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I wish I could go. I got to get the camera I got to get the angle to look over that way. But yeah,
I mean, I don't think anyone in this room would will not understand collecting, because I mean, I got pops, comics, and I mean controllers. You could say also, because I do have a few of those. So I mean, it's I love to collect things. I feel like it's fun, and it's just something that I enjoy doing. So. All right, so let's go to something major happening tomorrow, and it is the first one that we're getting in a year, and it's Nintendo Direct. Yes,
it's been a year.
Like a full show. I mean, they've had like 5-minute, 10-minute shows of a specific game, but this is their first full show in a year.
Had a Nintendo show in a full year, and we've always been teased at getting one, and now tomorrow is finally the day, which, if you guys, special announcement,
Ding, 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 ding.
At 5 p.m., we will be doing a co-stream of the Nintendo Direct show. So if you guys want to watch the show with us, we'll be doing a special show tomorrow at 5 p.m. Nintendo Direct. We're going to do the whole 50 minutes. We're going to do it live, a live reaction, and then we will put it on our YouTube also, so you guys will get a bonus video.
We'll do a little post show. We'll do a little post show talk afterwards too.
Post show talk with it. Chris also has a video going tomorrow on YouTube for our plug. So you guys are actually be getting, I mean, almost 3 videos this week, which, the most videos we've done in a week. So yeah. So back to Nintendo Direct, guys. It's finally here. It's Nintendo. I want to know what is your guys' predictions? What do you guys think is going to happen? What do you guys want to happen? And do you even care?
Well, let me go ahead
with Yendi before Chris gets into it. Yendi, what are you thinking?
The only thing, ideally, I would love an announcement of a brand new mainline Pokemon game, completely separate from Sword and Shield, because that was crap in my eyes. I doubt that's going to happen.
Pokemon Stadium remastered.
I mean, okay. Okay, I'll play it. I won't buy it, but I'll play it.
I'll be playing those mini games. I'll be smacking these kids on Twitch.
I think it's just going to be a bunch of, not a bunch. It's probably just be a Pokemon Snap update. Maybe they'll show some more footage. Probably some more Smash crap. All that nonsense fighting game.
Take that.
I'm not a fighting game guy because I am at it.
I'm not a fighting game guy either, right? But you got to respect that game.
if you like it, you like it. That's all you. Anyways, so they'll probably have Smash, because Smash is, it gets a blood pumping for some of you guys. You know what I'm saying?
And that was our last show, guys. Thank you so much.
Let's see what else. Hopefully. Again, a new Switch model. That would be nice. there have been rumors that there's going to be a Switch Pro that's supposed to either support 4K docked, probably. I doubt you'll have it handheld, but I hope they do upgrade the handheld to at least 1080 because right now it's at I think 720.
Still looks like it still looks great too. That's
Yeah.
insane. But yeah, I know Nintendo came out and said like we're not releasing a system this year, and everybody's like, yeah, okay,
Yeah, okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Nintendo does a lot of things a lot of times, and they usually are lying.
But it's so crazy that they lie about like whenever they blatantly say like this is not happening at all. And I'm like, most companies are like, guys, let's wait until the stream. Like, I don't know. Let's So, but they blatantly tell you every time, they're like, this is not happening. Stop. But
other than that, let's see.
I got a list here for you, Yendi. So whenever you're ready, you let me know, and then as I'm going through them, you'll probably be like, oh yeah, that one and that one and that one.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see a Switch Pro announcement either. That would be nice. I'm thinking if they do that, it'll be in the fall or maybe early next year, spring.
If they were smart, they would get it out by November this year, but I know that's gonna be.
Yeah, they have no competition. The big boys.
They got it out of the way, and they like.
So, good idea, yeah. But yeah, I don't have much. I haven't played my Switch in probably a year or more. I played a little bit of the Pokemon game and then haven't touched it. So yeah.
All right,
Chris, what do you got?
So I actually have a fake. So somebody made a fake leaked photo, right, of the list of tomorrow's show, and it's like one of those ones where they took a picture and they moved the phone last second, so it looks blurry, right? Mm-hmm. But it gives us some idea, and even Nintendo came out to that this person put like, guys, don't tell Nintendo, and posted it. Nintendo replied, don't believe this crazy guy, and then the guy replied, I wonder what game you freaked out about on the list to make you comment.
Oh, that's totally staged. That's totally
so
staged.
So it's so funny, but a lot of these were like, oh, I kind of forgot about these. But one I'm hoping to see tomorrow. All right, I do agree with Yendi. I think Pokemon's gonna have its own stream later on because they love to do that. They might touch on a Pokemon thing, and like they might release something small about Pokemon Go or an update, and say like, hey, we'll have more Pokemon news on this next. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna get another direct announcement tomorrow throughout the show.
Before you go on, but next week the rumor is supposed to be the 27th. That in 11 days it's Pokemon Day, and might be getting a direct from there because it's also Pokemon's 25th. anniversary, so that's why people are rumoring something big is going to happen.
Yeah, so we'll probably get that announcement tomorrow if they do it. But I'm hoping, like everybody else, I think we might get a little bit more of Breath of the Wild 2. I think we might get the announcement of if it's going to come out this year. Like, if they just show a trailer, it's probably not likely that it'll come out this year. But also, Nintendo has been killing it with their release where they show a little bit and then all of a sudden like it'll be a week out and we don't have a release date and they're like, hey, guess what, this game releases next week, and everybody's like, hold on. You know what I mean? They're really good at that. But Breath of the Wild 2 I'm hoping to see. All right, but on this list somebody put Metroid Prime 4.
Yes,
right,
because Metroid it's actually, so Nintendo games have a bunch of like anniversaries.
Mm-hmm.
So
especially this year.
Yeah, well, kind of go to Chris's point, but it's Metroid's 35th anniversary. It's Zelda's 35th anniversary. It's Pokemon's 25th anniversary, and it's Donkey Kong's 40th anniversary. And before you go on, Chris, if they announce a new Donkey Kong game, I'm going to freak out tomorrow. I'm letting you guys know right now because Donkey Kong Country is one of the best games ever made, and I need another version of that or an HD mastered version.
I think they're gonna do because Mario 3D All Stars was successful. There was rumors that they were gonna do that with Legend of Zelda. So I think they just might follow that route. I just hope they don't do the whole. Was it 3D All Stars that they were like, oh hey, like 3D All Stars is a package, blah blah blah, but come March, I think it was like March 13th or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I think it was after like Mario Day. it would be like you can't get them as a package. You would have to buy them individually. So we'll see how that goes because it kind of gives you that incentive. Like I didn't want the 3D All Stars, but I'm like, well, I'm not gonna pay separately for each game, so let me just go ahead and get it, so I can have all 3 games, and that's what they're going for. People also think they want to see another Mario Odyssey 2, like a tease for Mario Odyssey 2. Which I would love. Another one that I saw was Mario Strike, like another Mario sports game. So Mario Strikers or the Mario baseball game. I would personally love another Mario Strikers game. That soccer game was fun. I laughed a lot with my friends. Some crazy, stupid stuff goes on in that game. I would love that. And then for the Switch Pro thing, I don't know. We'll see, man. Because I'm waiting for them. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear the squeaky toy. My dog was whining for a second. And I just heard the squeak and I was like, what is that? I just know like the Nintendo formula is we do the show and then they go, okay, so that concludes today's show and blah, blah, blah. And then they go, oh, one more thing. And then we get the big announcement of the show. So that's what we always look out for. It's just like, okay, what is this? But I'm sure we're going to see Super Smash. We're probably going to get a new character.
I'm positive.
Yeah. Another one on the list that made me laugh. Sorry, not mad. Is Mario and Luigi Doug Bowser's Inside Story. Which, yeah, Doug Bowser is the new president of Nintendo America. So they want Mario and Luigi's Bowser's Inside Story, but they put Doug Bowser. And I also think we might get a special guest on the stream. I think Reggie's gonna come back to say hi because he has been going out about how mad he is about what E3 is looking like this year. He's actually pretty upset. So, and for him to, but
I agree. Yeah, I like. I think we will get a lot. I do that. The anniversary games we'll get something from those anniversary titles. So I do feel like we're gonna get Metroid. It might not be a new Metroid game per se, but I do feel like I know they were working on a 2D Metroid. That they said they were working on it since like 2016 or 2017 ish. But it might not be like a Metroid 4. It might just be like a remake for Metroid like 2D. So I'm excited for a Metroid game. Period. I want another Metroid game because I feel like we've way too long for Metroid, and it's like the 35th anniversary. I think this is the perfect time to announce it because I mean, really, you don't announce things on the 36th, or you're gonna have to wait till the 40th, and I'm not waiting that long for another Metroid. Even though I'm gonna play it, I don't want to wait that long. Zelda, I think we are going to get a similar thing, like you said with Mario All Stars. I think we'll get like a Wind Waker.
If we get Wind Waker remastered, that would be the game that I freak out on stream. Yeah.
So I think we get Wind Waker. I think we get a Wind Waker remake or Wind Waker 2 kind of thing.
I know there's a rumor that Ocarina of Time might come to the Switch again, but I'm okay.
I think we're gonna get a version. I think we're gonna get a version of the Mario All Stars with Zelda. I do think we're gonna get like a package, maybe 3 or 4 games, and I do think we're gonna get footage of Breath of the Wild 2. And I think they're gonna hold Breath of the Wild 2 to the end of the year because that just makes sense. I mean, again, why release Breath of the Wild 2 on your 36th year when you can release it on your 35th year? Yeah. It just feels better, in my opinion. I don't know. I could just be,
I'd be shocked if they don't show more footage besides that one they gave us.
What I'm kind of hoping for is, I guess, like how past E3s and even last year with the Xbox and Sony show, where it just like we go in and it's like trailer, and like the world premieres and all this other stuff. But I know it's gonna be like I'm gonna keep my expectations low. Like I have high expectations for what they're gonna show, right? But as for how much they're gonna show, I think we might get like 6 big games and they'll just go in depth about it. I also think that they're gonna say something about they might announce something for online, like what's Nintendo Online gonna look like this year.
Who knows?
Because I know that's been a work in progress.
I mean, listen, Nintendo Online since iteration of it, so like it's just always been bad. I
Yeah.
mean, we've had it bad since Wii U. Like it's always been bad. So I don't know if it's going to be good. The only thing that game I feel like it's ever been good for is Monster Hunter, which we will get tomorrow also. The new Monster Hunter game, I think, is going to be one of the games they show. Um, I like I said, Donkey Kong's 40th. They haven't talked anything about Donkey Kong for a while, and I think the 40th, I will take a Donkey Kong remastered with Diddy Kong Racing, please. Like, just let me get one of those. Let me just get it. Let me just get it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't understand why I can't get
it's
it.
gonna be Mimo. He's gonna come out and he's gonna have he's gonna set up some bongos. He's gonna set up some bongos on the stand. He's like, "You guys remember this game from GameCube?" And they'll bring back the Donkey Kong bongo game.
It's better now. I need a Donkey Kong game. I think it's only funny.
Oh,
I don't think I agree with you guys with Pokemon. More Pokemon next week or on the 27th, I think. I do think we'll see Pokemon Snap, but I don't think they're going to show us anything down the line until later on. And then I think instead of getting what the Pokemon game was supposed to be, I think we might get Pikmin 4 personally, just because Pikmin 3 just
relaunch. Yeah, they did another launch on.
So I think that also means we get Pikmin 4, which is going to be nice. Because I enjoy the Pikmin game.
It'd be too soon for Pikmin 4.
Would it?
Would it?
Yeah, Pikmin 3 came out not too long ago.
For the Switch, but it was on Wii U. They just remastered it, or not remastered. They just ported it to the Switch.
Because I love the first Pikmin on the GameCube. That I was like hundreds of hours in that thing.
Yeah, Pikmin. I like. Yeah, Pikmin 3 came out for August 2013, so it's been 8 years since the last Pikmin. I mean, because the deluxe version was just based. So I think we do get Pikmin 4 just because of that.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited. I would love another Pikmin because like I love those games. I think they're fun games. I've always had good, and Olimar's a beast in Smash Brothers, so there's that too. So I don't know. I think that's what we're gonna get. I think some form of those big. I know the big deal will be the anniversary games and like probably get collections of those games. And I mean, I'm all for it. I can't wait to see who the new Smash Brothers character is because we have no idea. Because one thing Nintendo has done right is announce these Smash Brothers characters because people have no idea who's coming into this game after we got Steve from Minecraft and Sephiroth. So I mean, I don't know who it's going to be. I don't even have the slightest of clues, and I'm not even going to say a prediction.
Goku.
No, that's the person I hope it's not. Okay, I'm not a Goku hater, but I just
Ultra Instinct Goku.
Oh God.
I don't want to talk about that version of Goku, but anyway.
Hey man, I love Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, me too. Actually, I love the game. I just want Goku in the game. But no, Sora from Kingdom Hearts. There we go.
I mean, maybe we might get. Who knows?
I feel like we're gonna get him at some point, and he's just gonna be like, "There, shut up," because everybody always wants Sora, and it's ridiculous. But I also hope for tomorrow that I hope we don't like as much as I love indie games. I hope we don't get any indie games. I just want to see AAA titles. I just want to say save the indie games for the Indie Direct, which I love. The Indie Direct is a lot of fun. But for this main one, I kind of hope it's just.
I think Nintendo Direct, since it's been so long, that most of these games are going to be the heavy hitters. And like I said, with all these anniversaries, I just feel like it's going to be like, all right, guys, here's our games. And I think this is kind of fitting for the time that it's coming out, being that the next gen hype has kind of like it hasn't died down, but like people are not getting the consoles. Switches are actually one of the few things that are available right now, even like in the middle of the in the pandemic, they weren't too available, but you can find a Switch pretty easily right now, or most people actually already have a Switch. So them hitting us with heavy titled first party games is like this is a great year for 2021. We just sold ridiculous on our games, which is going to be a continuation from last year. Because I mean, we got hit with Animal Crossing last year. We got hit with the Mario stuff, and then now this year you can be like Zelda, Metroid, like you know what I mean. So I think they're going to hit us with everything, and it's going to be a great year for the Switch. I think personally.
And sorry if you guys can hear my dog. I keep seeing my box glow green every time she barks. So
I don't think anyone minds a dog. So yeah. Anything else, guys, on Nintendo Direct stuff?
No, man. I'm just very excited. I'm happy that we're streaming it tomorrow.
We do have one more special announcement.
Because most of the time when they announce directs, I'm
so
at work and they're like,
we talked about this briefly
like,
last week, but we actually got approved for most of our podcasts. So we will now be on podcast. You can catch us at the moment. We are on Spotify. We are on TuneIn. We're on Amazon Music. We are on Google Podcasts. We are on iHeartRadio also. So we're still working on getting to Apple, where we will hopefully be on there by next week. But for now, if you guys do want to listen to us in a podcast form and don't have time to watch the live show or catch it on YouTube, we will be dropping the podcast version of this show every Wednesday. So you guys can check that out if you guys want to listen to us in just audio form. And those will come out every Wednesday after we do the live show. So if you don't catch us on the live show, you can catch us on the podcast. If you don't catch us on the podcast, you can catch us on the YouTube. So thank you guys for everyone who joined us. Please don't forget to hit the follow button on our Twitch. If you follow us on Twitter for any updates that we might have, because we might be dropping more of those, like I guess videos that if there's a conference, we're going to try to do as many of those. So, so that we have at least a reaction video on them.
Yeah, or something. And if anything, we'll talk about it on the next show. And real quick before you finish up, I did want to plug, tomorrow I have my first video on the YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can see our past shows. Alan put up his first video, The Medium, his review on the game. And then tomorrow I'm putting up a show that I started called Fever Quest. And I did a Hitman 3 challenge where I tried to knock out, I had to get 20 bodies in a bathroom, and the only way I could do it was knocking out somebody with a bar of gold. So, and I got both of the main targets into the bathroom. It was a person called Leo Vader. He's on YouTube. He's the one who created that challenge. But that second target was a little added bonus for me. But yeah, keep an eye out for it. It comes out at 11:30 tomorrow.
And also for the following Wednesday, I will have a video out myself, and I'll be going through what I think the next Battlefield absolutely has to have to be successful.
Oh, so God.
This is going to be a great video.
So the following week, and yeah, make sure you check out Chris's video. I actually watched it before, and it's pretty good. So it's funny, good stuff.
The last 5 minutes is pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, follow us on all those socials if you guys keep up. We appreciate you guys who joined us. We appreciate your support. Share us, do all those things, and we will be back next week. Catch you guys later. Fire team out.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.